The Sound of Freedom and how the trades can change the world. So I went and saw The Sound of Freedom this last week, but I want to tell y'all about when I was introduced to Operation Underground Railroad and Tim Ballard. 2 years ago at Connect, I'm involved with Master Networks, and Matt Osborne spoke, and they showed a video about Operation Underground Railroad. Now, Tim Ballard, who this movie's about, it's not really about him. It's about these two kids. But Tim Ballard is the guy who goes in and rescues these kids. And he's gone on to open up Operation Underground Railroad. Well, I'm telling you about this because this Saturday, I've got Matt Osborne, the president of Operation Underground Railroad, coming into my live stream. Now, I want to tell you the story because I'm literally sitting here at an event watching this video that they made about what they do. And they literally show them going into these third world countries and bringing out women, boys, girls that have been sex trafficked. And I've got to tell you, it's enough to make you sick. It's enough to make a grown man like me sit there. It's enough to make a grown man like me sit there with tears running down his face. And I pulled out my phone and made a donation. And Matt came up to me and said, look, I want to say thank you for your donation. And I've got to tell you, meeting him and watching this, I had an idea about how tradespeople can change the world. Tradespeople are in people's houses more times a day than anybody else. We go into people's houses each and every day. So what I want you to start thinking about, we can see things, we can hear things, and we can do things. So after watching this video that they did 2 years ago, I literally told Matt, I said, my idea is, after watching this, if I ever walked into a house, and as tradespeople, we should always walk in and say, look, is there anywhere that I can't go? And if they're like, yeah, there's this bedroom with a deadbolt on it, you can't go in here, it's locked, whatever. Okay, that might be a sign. And we're going to get to talk to more with Matt Osborne this week about it. But what kind of signs, what could we do, different things. But my thought at that time after watching this is, if I walk into a house like that, I say, okay, thank you very much. I go into the back and I pick up the phone and I call the police and say, look, my name's Roger Wakefield. I may or may not have warrants out for my arrest, but if you come to this address, you'll see my van out front. You can tell the people here, that's how you found me. But ask to see me and then search the house because there's a door with a deadbolt on it that I think somebody just needs to look behind. Can I say that's ever happened? It's only happened to me once, but it was before I knew anything like this. But I do remember, too, that we had plumbers at our house one day, and when they came in that evening, they said, we got a really weird feeling in this house. There were deadbolts on the doors. Now, I don't know if you could get in or out from the inside, but there were keys on the outside where you could not open that door. Now, after seeing a movie like The Sound of Freedom, it makes you think, who's behind that door? Unfortunately, after watching this, after listening, I understand that the United States is one of the biggest countries involved in sex trafficking. Think about that. We are the United States, but we are not only the biggest country that is involved with exporting people for sex trafficking, we're also one of the largest countries that uses child pornography. And guys, this is a way to help stop it. If you're a parent, if you've got children, if you've got nieces or nephews, I want you to go to this movie. I want you to watch it. And I want you to understand what goes on in the world and how easy it is, the things that they are doing. I've actually seen other video that they shot in order to help put this together to make a movie out of. This movie was put out by Angel Studios, which actually has a very big place in my heart. So what I'm going to tell you is, if you're a tradesperson, I want you to think about it every time you walk in a house. How does everybody appear? How does everybody seem? How do they look? If there's kids that look like they're afraid, don't be afraid to do something about it. And I know how strange that sounds, but when you watch this movie, I want you to think about the situations you're in. I want you to think about things that you can see each and every day. We walk in houses. Some are nice houses, some are raggedy houses. It really doesn't matter. But I want you to think about it every time you walk into a house. If there's something crazy going on, what could you do? What are your options? What are your opportunities? I want you to go to the Roger Wakefield YouTube channel this Saturday from 11 to 12:30 and check out the live stream. We're going to talk about sex trafficking, and we're going to talk about what tradespeople can do. Each and every one of us, what we can do every day to help us make this a better world. I know this sounds crazy, and I've never done a video like this. I've also never had a movie or a video that I've seen in person that touched me the way that this did. As you can tell, it still does. But I want you to think about what you could do to change the world, what you could do to change one person's life, what you could do that maybe would shut down or help put an end to sex trafficking. Maybe you can't shut it all down, but maybe you shut down one group, one organization, one house where tens or hundreds of thousands of people could go through. After you see this movie and learn more about Operation Underground Railroad, it will blow your mind. And I want you to know, since the very first time I saw this, this is something I think about every day. Every time I walk into a house, every time I look at a child, you've got to think, wow, what if? So I want you to think about that. And if you haven't seen The Sound of Freedom yet, go watch it. But carry some tissues with you, because chances are you're going to have tears running down your face, just like I did. I want you to understand that we can make a difference. As tradespeople, walking in houses each and every day, we can make a difference. Please come to my YouTube channel this Saturday. Watch it. Ask Matt Osborne questions. He's coming in to help share his valuable information, valuable knowledge with us. And we have an opportunity to do something. We have an opportunity to give back. I want you to think about how it would make you feel if you lost a child. If you had an empty bed in your house, if your child was missing, could you sleep? What could you do? I know me, if it was my child, if it was my grandchildren, I would not be able to sleep. I would be thinking every day, what can I do to help get them back? And then think about how it would feel to know that a plumber, an electrician, an HVAC tech walked into a house, thought something was shady, called the local authorities, and they came in and opened up a door and found your child and returned them home to you. Please understand, this is important to me, and I hope it can become important to you. So please join me this Saturday with Matt Osborne and learn about Operation Underground Railroad and Tim Ballard's story. The Sound of Freedom is where it all started.